Hello, everyone. TGIM. I am showing up in your face unannounced. I just wanted to get the reaction of what would happen if I didn't necessarily tell you I was stopping by. Would you open the door and say, "Oh, come on in. Let me feed you. Come hang out with me," or would you creak the door open and slam it in my face? So now we're about to see. Listen, I just wanted to bring in this awesome Monday morning in with you. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is going to rock. First off, listen, you survived. You survived Sunday, statistically the #1 day for heart attacks, Sunday night. Do you know why? Because people are so stressed about having to go into work on Monday, but not you, not me, man. We're thankful. We woke up thankful. And, so here we are. And I wanted to talk to you about something that I want to say it might rub you the wrong way. It's definitely counterculture. It's most definitely counter the culture of what I live in. I live in the sales culture, in the entrepreneurial realm, and everyone here in this culture, we all have this thing that we say, and it's the grind. It's the grind, and it's like, don't bother my grind, and I'm just grinding, and and it's like, I don't know about you, that does not appeal to me, to be grounded, to be grinded. I remember when I was a kid and we had like a pencil sharpener in the back of class. Anyone ever have that pencil sharpener and you put your pencil in the sharpener and you pull it out and it's not sharp, and you put it in and you go again and you pull it out and it's not sharp, and pretty soon it puts the pencil towards like that size. And I remember there were kids in my class writing with this teeny tiny pencil. That pencil was grinded. I don't want to be that. That's what that mentality can do to you, is it can take you and make you some tiny, useless utensil. And thanks for joining me there, Nick. It can make us a tiny, useless utensil. And I want to throw that off, right? Why do we have to be a part of the grind culture? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not against hard work. I am all for hard work, but I believe that you and that me, we're a little smarter, and we can work from the place of rest. We can work from the place of peace. If you're in the grind, you're in the wrong system. And listen, I know it flies a little bit in the face of your Gary Vee, of your Grant Cardone, of all the voices, of all the gurus out there, that they would tell you it's about the grind and it's about how hard you work and outwork everyone in sight. And I agree some. But man, if that's all you're about, you're going to be one of those Sunday night statistics that die before you ever make it into the workplace. So today we're going to be talking about how to avoid the grind, how to rest more and get more done. Because in my book, it's not about how hard you work. That is heroic, and I love that, people who are heroic, and that's how I was raised. And you work hard and you don't complain. But what if you could work smart? What if you could work effectively? What if you showed up and you were charged up because you weren't so tired from all of the grind? I think the only thing that should be ground is those coffee beans. My wife grinds coffee beans every morning. And let's talk about being effective. The human mind, and where you're at and where I'm at, is that your brain will require you to rest. And if you're not resting appropriately, guess what will happen? Your brain is going to take those vacations for you. It's going to take those times off for you. And you're going to be working. And all of a sudden, you check out. You ever have one of those moments where you're not there? Right? That's your brain saying, dude, I need rest. I need rest. The brain needs rest. That's why we sleep at night. And I don't know how many hours of sleep are required for you or for me. I personally like a solid 7. I can function on 4 too, but the idea is we need to recharge our batteries. And if we're not doing that, you're going to be less than effective. And, I remember actually several of my sales careers showing up and looking to the person on the right and looking to the person on the left. I'm like, you know, you might be better than me, but you're not going to outwork me. And I would be there before they got there, and I would be there after they left. And I was grinding. Here's the reality of what happened is that my job required this span of time, right? We'll call it 8 hours. I don't necessarily agree with the 8-hour idea either, but we'll call it 8 hours. And what I was doing is like, I'm going to work 10 or 11 hours. And guess what happened? I'm here this 8-hour time frame, and I'm like, well, I have this, you know, I don't have to get my work done here. I have all this extra time buffer to get it done. I eventually made myself less effective. I took away from areas of my life, the true areas of life, my family, my own personal, you know, recharge time. And I did that because I thought I had this extra time. And I did. I was ground up. I was ground up. And I want to encourage you that for us, we need to give our brain those times of rest. We need to give our brains those times of wow. We need to give ourselves those times of fun and the time of wow, yes, glad to be alive, glad to do what I get to do. How can I help you? Because really for us, it's not just about getting things done. It's about getting things done and being alive while you're doing it. And there are too many zombies out there. How do we avoid being a zombie? Well, let's talk about, first off, I would say, you know, find something you're gifted at and make sure that that's something you're applying yourself to. If it's not, if your work does not express something that's in you, find more work or work another job that does express that, or go volunteer or do something that allows you to serve with a gift that is in you, right? Church is a great place to do that. There's so many, lots of places to volunteer. You know, you can work a side job. There's so many ways that you can do that. You can pour into your family. Lots of ways to do that. But let's talk about strategy. I love that Michael Baldwin is my man. Hey, man, good to see you here. Let's talk about some strategy for that. Number one strategy: take more vacations. And I'm not saying that that your life is lived for vacations, but you should be doing things that recharge you, that make you say, yeah, good to be alive. And your brain's like, this is pretty awesome. Your brain needs a reset button, all right? Vacations help to do that. And don't just, you know, you should have one a year. You should have one every half year. You should have one every quarter. You should kind of have in stages. And a vacation might not be more than you just taking a day off from work and, you know, driving, you know, a few hours to a park or whatever. But you need to take it. You need to take it. You need to have it. And here's the funny thing. When you take more vacations, right, the day before vacation, what do? Man, you're like kicking butt, getting your work done, and you're doing probably more in a half a day than you would in a 3-day time span. And that kind of, I guess would speak to what I was talking about with the time allotment before. I want to say it's McCarthy's law that says the amount of busy work that you have is going to expand to fill the time allotted for it. I'm going to say that again. The amount of busy work that you have, the time it takes to do that the amount of busy work you have will always expand to the time allotted for it. So if you give it 5 hours, it'll take 5 hours. You give it 7 hours, it'll take 7 hours. So why don't we just kill that stuff, get it done, and be quick with it? All right. So we need vacations. We need weekly wows. We need something that just makes us feel good. Are you a bike rider? Do you walk in trails? Do you get outside? Did you used to draw and paint, but now you don't? Get back to it. Find a way to do that. And not only do we need weekly wows, we need to actually have, I would say, daily rest, daily charge up time. It's not just what's on your pillow. I mean, the rest. How many of you out there have ever found yourself on social media or on ESPN or on whatever, Bachelor for one of my viewers I know. So you're checking out this stuff online, and you know it's not effective. You know it's taken away from what you're doing, but man, you just can't stop it. You just, right? Your brain just wants to go, it wants to go in zombie mode every once in a while. And so we know that that's a requirement. We know that the brain needs to go there. So what do? Why don't we plan for that? So put it in your schedule. Put in your schedule, brain drain times. Or I should actually say brain charge times. And if I could, I would tell you, avoid the computer. The computer doesn't rest you. The television doesn't rest you, right? I would say that you need to start off every day from that place of rest. And for me, I love music. I love worship. I love praying. I want to spend time with God. He's the Prince of Peace. So I figure if I can't get peace through him, I can't get it from anywhere. But there's lots of places you can get peace. If you're a meditation person, if you're going for a walk in the morning person, whatever you are, find it, start with it, do it, make it a part of your daily strategy. If you do that, it will charge you up and help you to do more work. Now, throughout the day, take a 10-minute break here or there. And here's, you smokers, you get a little advantage on some of us non-smokers, right? Because we go at it all day long and we don't stop. Smokers have to go outside and usually some far nether region to actually go and smoke. And so they actually get up from their location. I'm speaking to office workers. They go walk somewhere and they get a chance to reflect. Now, non-smokers, I'm not telling you to pick up a habit of smoking, but maybe pick up a habit of taking a chill pill, a chill break, a recharge break, change your atmosphere, go outside for a few, okay? That will serve to recharge you. Maybe go chat with a friend for a few, but keep it contained. Don't allow it to just, take up too much time. It's really, if you think about it, it's a lot like dieting. And you could be really good all day, but because you've been so strict, what happens is once you're around the buffet, you throw it all in. And why are you doing that? Because your brain is like, I've been a good boy all day. I've been a good boy all day. And now I just can't resist. So instead, why don't we give our brain that opportunity to kind of go be, unplugged and recharge for a bit. So change it. I want you to schedule it, put it in your schedule and find different ways to do it, to charge up. And finally, I would say this, living on purpose, living in your purpose. If you are doing what makes you feel good, if you're doing what makes you feel right. I love from the Chariots of Fire movie. And for some reason, the guy's name is not connecting to my brain here, but he's the guy. He ended up being a missionary, but his family's like, you have to be a priest. You have to be a priest. You have to be a priest. And he was competing in the Olympics. He was going to be competing in the Olympics. He says, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm supposed to run. I feel God's pleasure when I run. And I want to encourage you, find the place where you feel God's pleasure, where you are in your zone. Connect that with your purpose. And listen, I'm not telling you that your corporate environment is going to be able to fully take advantage of all the gifts and great things that are in you. But your corporate structure should allow something in you to come out in a way that's gratifying to you. You serve people, you help people, you get to do, artsy things, whatever. It should be an avenue for you. So find that purpose, serve that purpose. And I want to encourage you, don't buy into the grind, but when you're doing what you love, it might be more than an 8-hour day. It might be a 10-hour day. It might be a 12-hour day. People might stop you and say, hey, dude, have you eaten yet? And you're like, oh, I forgot to eat. I've been just doing this all day long. And it's a place of my love. And it was easy for me, right? The farmer, when he's harvesting his crop, he'll spend 18 hours out in the field because it is time for him to do that. So I'm not anti-hard work. I'm just anti-grind. Find what you love, do what you love, take that love with you, bring your passion with you wherever you're at, and avoid the grind. Listen, thanks for joining us this week. Loved being with you. Power up, sign off. Happy Monday.